Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Beautiful You Show. Today I am filming from my room. Um, this is like my little meditation nook, if you can see like over here. So I have like my essential oils, I have my diffuser. What else do I have? I have candles. I have some cards over here, but this is usually when I do my morning routine practice or my morning practice. Um, this is usually the little nook that I do it in. But Happy New Year. I just wanted to come on here today because I wanted to do a talk story video, share a couple things with you. Um, it is 2020. Can you believe it is 2020? It sounds so science fiction-esque. Is that a word? Science fiction-esque? Well, if not, that's the word I'm going to use. But anyways, it is 2020 and it is here and it is real. But I wanted to come on here today. I wanted to talk about goals. I wanted to talk about resolutions. I wanted to talk about aligning and share some things that I recently. Is this thing tilting? Okay, there. Share some things that I recently discovered with the intention of starting the new year off really, really centered and really, really aligned. And so it's going to be like a slash review type of thing. So I got two of these new, this is called the 5 Minute Journal, and this is called the Productivity Planner. So where should I start? The 5 Minute Journal. One of my favoriteest IGers, she was promoting it on her IG stories, and she was talking about how it like changed her life and how she loved it. The 5 Minute Journal, I know it doesn't sound like much, but it really is a great gratitude journal. Um, so if you look in the beginning, it says the 5 Minute Journal, the simplest, most effective thing you can do every day to be happier. And the reason why it works is every day it's set up like this, if you can see. So they usually give you a blank date. So you can start this anytime, you can stop it anytime, you can keep it going. I have been doing it every single day since January 1st. And it's made such a difference already, and it's so much a part of my morning practice or my daily practice that I plan to just keep going with this every day as long as I remember. And I just say that because if for any reason I forget one day, I don't want to be, or forget, I don't want to be like, oh, I, I'm a failure or anything like that. First of all, I don't say those things to myself. We can go into another video to talk about negative self-talk. But I just don't want to, and I'll talk about this with goals and stuff. I don't want to pressure myself into achieving things. I want to do it because it aligns with me. And so like if one day I mess up, I don't do it, it's not going to be a guilt trip, or I'm not going to try and shame myself into getting back to doing it. But I have noticed that I love doing this. So let's see. I'll go over right here with you. Again, I'll show you the page. So again, they have usually a quote at the top, except for the beginning of the week. So say you started your weeks on Monday, or you start your week on a Sunday. Whenever you start your weeks, they have the weekly challenge up here, but usually every other day after that, they have a quote from somebody. And so the first part is, I am grateful for, and then they give you 3 blank spaces. And then the second question is, what would make today great? And there's some days where I have had like a really phenomenal day. And instead of saying what would make today great, I will say what made today great. So it's your journal. You can switch it up, use it however you need to, however it helps you. And then after those 2 questions, daily affirmations, I am. And so every day I usually say I am enough, I am loved, and then I add something else. So yesterday, what did I say for yesterday? I am enough, I am loved, I am excited, about upcoming projects. So I put that as my affirmation for the day. And there's some days where I change it. Usually I'm always going to have I am enough and I am loved. And then I'm always going to add something else. And then there's like an evening portion where it's darker. And those things are for the night. So you begin your day with this and you end your day with this. And those two questions are three amazing things that happened today. And it gives you three blank spaces to write those. And then how could I have made today even better? And this is really easy, really simple. It's meant to be an asset to you and to your life to remind you, there is good in every single day. And there's things that happen to us that we just forget. I was thinking about this the other day. I had a day where I remember it was like a few months ago on a Friday. I went to Starbucks and I had ordered enough food for my breakfast and my lunch and a drink. And somebody had done pay it forward. So they had paid for it. My bill was like $20, 20 something dollars. And they had paid for it because of pay it forward. And I was so grateful. And I forgot about that, over the course of a few days, a few weeks. And so it's always good to remind yourself about the good things that are happening in your life, especially when it's easy to have negative thinking. So it's good to remind yourself about the good things. Okay, productivity planner. I will have to say that this is not a traditional planner. You're not going to find like a 12-month calendar. You're not going to find weekly calendars. It's very similar to the 5-minute journal. It's made by the same company. The company is called Intelligent Change, and they even have a 5-minute journal for kids, which after using these two products, I really want to get that for my kids. But anyways, so at the beginning of every week, I'm going to cover it because I used actual examples. You set, it's called 5 most important tasks of the week. So what do you really want to accomplish this week? So say you have taxes to do this week, or there's laundry you want to get done, or for myself, I am working on several projects. One is I'm writing a book currently. So I finished writing the book and I hand wrote it. I love to hand write things because I feel like you're exercising a different part of your brain. So I hand wrote this book. In November, I did something called the NaNoWriMo Challenge, where you're supposed to write a book within that month. Well, I had never written a book. I've always wanted to write a book. And so I knew I needed to break down the task to make it easier for myself. And so I challenged myself to write every single day for 30 minutes a day. And when I first started writing, it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to write a book. But that's what ended up happening. And it took me more than a month. So I wrote from November 1st to just this January 1st. So I hand wrote it. And now I'm in the process of typing it up. And of course, while typing it up, I was like, I could have just typed this the first time. But I do think that writing things out, you say things differently, your emotions are different, your thought patterns are different. So I'm very grateful that I actually wrote it out and now I'm typing it out. And so there's 2 other books that I am planning on doing this year. And so that was one of the projects I'm working on. So one of my goals is to type every single day, for the week for an hour a day. And I've been doing that so far. But anyways, you do 5 most important tasks of the week, and then they give you 5 spaces. Then you move down to the secondary tasks of importance. And so what are the things that are kind of important, but it says do these only after you have completed the above tasks. And then it gives you 5 more spaces. So say for instance, you have a project at work or you have a project for school. That would be the 5 most important tasks. And then a secondary task would be so one of my secondary tasks this month is making this video. I really wanted to make sure I took the time out to plan, not just for the month, but for the year, my goals. And so after I did that, then my goal was to work on making more videos. And so that became my secondary task. And so I was able to complete some of my first tasks. Now I'm working on this one. But it says it all right here. And then the last one is what are your additional tasks? And it gives you 5 spaces. So how it sets you up is you put the most important tasks at the top. Those are the tasks that no matter what, you really want to get them done. Then you put the secondary tasks, and then so on, so on. And then the last part, it says commitment. What one action will you take to make this week more productive? So you're supposed to do this at the beginning of every week that you start. And then when you actually start the week, it looks like this. And just like the journal, it has a, what is that called? A quote at the beginning of the page. Everything is undated. So you can start it when you want. You can stop it when you want. The 5-minute journal, what their challenge is that you do it every day for at least 5 days. And so what they're hoping is that once you complete that, you already have gotten into the practice of taking the time and doing it. You're more likely to continue doing it. So for the everyday, you move to the most important task. So what do you need to really get done today? So say if you have a regular weekly job, that might be your most important task, getting to work, working at your job. So once you get that one out of the way, then you can work on your other jobs. If you are an entrepreneur, there are certain things in your business that you're going to prioritize over other things. And then it goes to the second task. Or let me show you. Okay, so over here, most important task, secondary task. But what they have over here is time allotments. And that is so good because there's some things that we overestimate the time it's going to take. And there's some things that we underestimate the time that it's going to take. And you don't find that out until you do them. And just like I was sharing, I'm typing out my book. Well, I thought an hour a day was a lot. I thought, oh, no problem. I'm going to be done typing this book in 5 hours. And that's why I said an hour. But what I'm realizing is for every hour, I type 1,600 words per minute. And I have over 40,000 words that I need to type out. So it's going to take me a bit longer to type this book out. And I wouldn't have known that had I not been doing the task. And then you go to secondary tasks, and then it goes to additional tasks. So as you complete the most important, the secondary one, as you complete that one, then you can move ahead. And then it has notes on the bottom, which is good. It gives you like an ample space. And it says extra space for ideas, future tasks, inspiration, and etc. And then every night or every day, you're supposed to rate how you did, how productive were you. And one thing I like about this is that it keeps me on task. So I am somebody that can easily get distracted by other tasks. I am somebody that I can have a really hard task to do, but all of a sudden I'm doing all these easier tasks because it takes less brain power, or it's not as stressful. And what happens is I get stuck in all the little things that I don't complete the task that's really important to me. And so this helps put into perspective what's really important for you. Anyways, I just wanted to share these 2 wonderful tools and talk to you about how they can help you with your resolutions. So I used to make a lot of resolutions. I love goals. I'm a goal person. Goals keep me motivated. Goals keep me aligned. Goals keep me in taking action. And so I'm somebody that has always loved goals, and I used to make resolutions all the time. I've since stopped making resolutions and just have running goals throughout the year that I always remind myself about. Um, but what I have started doing is creating a word for the year. And so this year, my word is practice. And the reason I chose that word, or that word came to me, is what I like to say, is I was meditating. I think it was January 2nd. January 1st, I had no word. So I was meditating, and then and I was like, is the word gonna come to me? Because I like for it to come to me or reveal itself, versus I'm like, this year I'm gonna focus on love. I really wanted it to be something that came to me. And so I was meditating and I was thinking about, how I have made some really, really pivotal changes in my life. I wanted to be a more mindful person. I wanted to be somebody that not only talked about the benefits of mindfulness, but actually was a person that practiced mindfulness. And it took practice. I had to every single day incorporate it into a morning practice. And then I thought about when I wanted to be a more compassionate person, not just to everyone else, but mostly to myself, because I do believe that usually we are hardest on ourselves. And so I really wanted to be a compassionate person, especially to myself. I had to put in a practice of that. I had to constantly remind myself about being compassionate. And when I wasn't, I had to, be aware of that and make changes. Um, and then there were other things that I noticed every time I made a pivotal change regarding it. I put it into practice. And so practice is my 2020 word of the year. And I would love to see how it evolves, how it transforms, and how it goes for the rest of the year. Um, One of my biggest tips for achieving your goals is to break down your goals into the smallest achievable steps. What we tend to do as humans is we get very excited, very ambitious with our goals, and we don't put any plans into action, or we overestimate our abilities. Um, we can underestimate how long the goal really takes. So just like me typing out my book, and I thought, oh, 5 hours, I'll have that book, knocked out. If I do it every day for 5 days, that book will be knocked out. I can publish it, I can submit it. And that's not the case. It's taken much longer. And so I had to go back and say, okay, it takes me 1 hour to type out 1,600 words. If my book is at least 50,000 words long, how many hours is that going to be? And then I had to make that my goal of, okay, it's going to take me this amount of time to complete typing out the book before I can even submit it or self-publish it. So make your tasks that you want to accomplish, your goals, your dreams, whatever you want to call it, break it down into the most manageable, most achievable step that you possibly can. You want to stay motivated. It's so easy to lose momentum. It's so easy to lose motivation. Having a practice for it makes it easier. So I think I've shared with you in other videos, 2018, I really wanted to be a practicing mindful person. And so what I had to do is I had to incorporate it into my morning routine every single day, to where no matter what I did meditation or I did mindfulness. And so to break that down into the most easiest manageable task, I thought I had to meditate like 20 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day. Well, that's not realistic for me. That's not something I can keep up. I probably will, I knew at the time, I probably would have done 1 day or 2 days of like 15 minutes, and I would have been like, okay, I would have avoided it. And so, what I needed to do is to make it a manageable step for myself. And so I told myself, okay, I'm just going to do it for at least a minute every single day. And so now I can meditate for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 minute, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, all dependent on how much time I'm allotting to it for the day. And it's not a problem. And that is because I build up my resistance, I build up my stamina, I build up momentum. But had I just started out from the bat saying I'm going to meditate every day for 30 minutes, I don't think I would still be a practicing meditator. So, if you have goals you want to accomplish, if you have dreams you want to tackle, break it down into the most manageable step possible and then go from there. And just like anything else, once you start having a practice, once you start getting used to it, you just yourself start raising the bar a little bit higher. And so maybe in your wildest dreams you wanted to, be a 30-minute meditation person. Well, you're going to have to start with 1 minute. And then you're going to start building momentum and you're going to start saying, "Oh, this is really beneficial for me." And you're going to start pushing yourself to do more. But you also have to make sure that you don't push yourself so much that you get overwhelmed. And that's what breaking down your goal into the most manageable step, that's what it does for you. It makes it achievable for you so that you don't lose momentum, you don't lose excitement, and all those things. But anyways, again, have a great new year. I hope these things inspire you or work out for you. If you have these journals, let me know how you like it. If you have any questions, you can comment down below. I'm also going to be putting my website information and my Instagram in the information box below. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to me. But thank you so much for watching this video and have a great 2020.